All right, let's get this show on the road, everyone. Welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? Hello, hello, and welcome to the pre-stream. Today is Tuesday, right? Yes, today is Tuesday, the 28th of September, 2021, and I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to my first of two gameplay streams. A full day of gameplay streaming today, everyone. I was actually doing some housekeeping on my Xbox Series X this morning because coming up soon, very, very soon, within the next 1 to 2 weeks, we've got a plethora of games that are being released. In fact, as of this morning, even another one was announced with the Battlefield 2042 beta. So I was looking and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, in the next, 2 weeks, there's I'm not even kidding, 6 games coming out. 6! We've got, just listen to this, okay? This is pretty crazy stuff coming up. We're finally hitting the crazy-ass busy gaming time of the year. So we've got the Super Monkey Ball Collection on Friday, Alan Wake Remastered and the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl on October 5th, Far Cry 6 on October 7th, Metroid Dread on October 8th, and on top of all of that, the Battlefield 2042 beta is coming out publicly for everyone on the 8th. But if you actually have, I guess, EA Play or Xbox Live Gold, which would include Game Pass, you could play it on the 6th. Yeah, pretty crazy. So, what an insane week to 2 weeks we've got coming up. Ali Corney says, am I going to play the All-Star Brawl? Well, if I take a look at all the games I just mentioned, admittedly, I'm interested in Alan Wake. I definitely want to do the Monkey Ball collection because I've never played Super Monkey Ball before. Obviously, Far Cry 6 is kind of a no-brainer. We're actually going to talk about that because there's a poll I have running on Twitter that has some interesting results. And Far Cry 6 is at the top of that poll, if you can believe it, which shocks me. And I definitely want to play Metroid Dread. So really, out of all those games, if there was one that I was going to skip, it would probably be the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl because from what I'm to understand, it's just multiplayer. Unlike Smash Brothers, which has a significant amount of single-player content, I guess this game only is made for online multiplayer. But it's still cool. I watched a lot of those cartoons in the 90s that are in it. Ren and Stimpy, right? Character who's in it? I think someone's in it from Rugrats. Characters that I saw on TV in the freaking 90s are going to be fighting it out in this game, which is zany and as hell. And I think that game could be something fun that you just do as a night stream a couple times a week, some silly online. Oh, Rocco's in it for Rocco's Modern Life? Holy shit. I watch that show all the time, dude. Oh, it's Reptar from Rugrats. I see. Reptar from Rugrats and Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life. Cartoons I watched in the 90s are in this freaking game. That's what I mean. I think it could be pretty neat. But anyway, how insane is that? Now, we've had how many months, right? 3-4 months straight. Where, I would argue, since Resident Evil 8, there hasn't been that much high-profile releases, or if there is, it's just one a month, or whatever. Now, all of a sudden, in the month of October, there's a dozen releases, all within a very short period of time, too. So, that's what I mean, with this crazy amount of games coming out soon, I need to do some housekeeping, because likely what I'm going to end up doing is splitting the games between my two consoles. For example, this morning I took a lot of stuff off my Xbox Series X. I took Halo off of there because I haven't played it in a million years. I took Vermintide 2 off of there. And by the way, don't worry. On Xbox Series X, everything's very well done with the cloud storage. It automatically uploads your save files to the cloud so that there's no issues there. And if you want to re-download those games and continue from where you left off, you have all that save data already there, you see? So I don't have to keep those games on the console until I'm going to play them again. So, basically, I removed a bunch of the larger games. Now I have 600 gigabytes free on my Xbox Series X, okay? All I have installed on there right now is Hades, Lost Judgment, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's going to free up a lot of room. I think I want to play Alan Wake on there just for nostalgic purposes, because I played Alan Wake back on the Xbox 360, and I remember all the, the achievements popping up and everything during the playthrough, and I think I want to do that again. Super Monkey Ball also, I've gotten on the Xbox Series X. As for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl or Far Cry 6, I'm undecided. I don't think it really matters what I get those for. I don't think either way it would really make a major difference. And Metroid Dread, of course, is on the Switch. It's a Switch exclusive, okay? Battlefield, that's an interesting question, because I have the ability to play Battlefield both on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. I could play it from the 6th and 7th because I have Game Pass Ultimate on the Xbox Series X, and then I could actually play it on the 8th and 9th on the PS5 because it's open beta. So maybe I could even do a direct comparison where I play it on one console one day, and then I do another session of it on the other console to directly compare how the game plays on the two controllers and stuff. I've never done that before. So that could be a really interesting comparison. Now, obviously, one of the major factors here when I'm going to get a competitive first-person shooter is surround sound, right? And we know I can get surround sound on the Xbox Series X. I just had it with the Call of Duty Vanguard beta. So, arguably, if I am going to get Battlefield, which likely I am, in November, I'm probably going to get it on the Xbox. I can't imagine why I would pay the same amount of money for the same game just to have added haptic feedback, but to not have surround sound, which is a competitive edge, to play it on PS5. You know, I'm finding a very hard justification to play a competitive game like that on PS5 because of the shortcomings of the console. I mean, they really screwed it up for content creators and streamers. They just did. Sorry that I don't run everything I do through my PC and have audio out 10 times so that I can have surround sound, 3D audio through the PC. You know, it should work right out of the console, and it always did up to now. It does on Xbox Series X. So, yikes. Anyway, it's a very exciting time right now with all these games coming out in a short period of time. That whole first week of October, right? It's like, it's going to be wild and crazy. All these new games coming out in such a short period of time. So, My Ruin says, I thought the point is buying any multi-platform game is better on Xbox for sound alone. The only way to buy on a different system, the Xbox version should be really bad. So what you're saying is unless it's graphically, it's performing way worse on the Series X, I should just get it on the Series X. Well, here's the thing. There's a couple factors that come into me now owning both current gen consoles and what version to get of a game. Number one factor is it exclusive? Duh, right? Most games these days are not, but every once in a while there's an exclusive. You have to get it on one console. So that's primarily the first choice. Then I would argue, yes, is there a benefit to getting it on one console over the other? If I'm getting surround sound on the Xbox Series X, obviously that's a big benefit for a competitive game. For a non-competitive game, so for example, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, why do I care if it has surround sound? It's a 2D fighter, you know? That won't... It probably doesn't even have surround sound anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what console I play that on. Super Monkey Ball, doesn't matter what console I play that one on, right? It really depends on the style of game. So if the game is cross-platform, if there's a reason to play it specifically with the surround sound, do it. But if it's not a game that benefits from surround sound, then I can maybe split it up. There's another factor that a lot of people aren't thinking. Okay, here's the other factor that we haven't discussed yet. Storage space. Storage capacity. Because right now, as I stated, on my Xbox Series X, I have Hades, Lost Judgment, and Microsoft Flight Sim, and I have 600 gigabytes free on the console. Now, if I literally buy every game on Xbox Series X, including the Monkey Ball Collection, Alan Wake, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, Far Cry, Back 4 Blood is coming out, and that is definitely I'm getting on Xbox because of Game Pass. They might not all fit. We might end up in a situation where now the hard drive is full, and now it's like, damn, and I'm still juggling all these games. I didn't finish any of them. I mean, Lost Judgment alone, there's no way I'm beating that for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So it may be a situation where I'm forced to split the games between the two consoles solely for storage capacity purposes. You see? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, so Anso Camaro just said, even in the smaller game space, which is way more enjoyable than the high-budget AAA titles, in my opinion, there's even a ton of games there coming out left and right. It's insane. I can't keep up. Yeah, it's nuts. The game landscape these days is just so wild compared to just a few years ago, you know? It's so different from 10 years ago when I was becoming prominent on YouTube, and it was like, okay, what am I going to play this week? Well, there's 3, decent mid to large size games. I'll play those. You know, now it's like, this week there's 17 games coming out. 10 of them are indie games. 2 of them are high-budget AAA games. And there's a bunch of mid-range games. What do I play? Shit. I don't know. Because a lot of the times you go for the AAA and they suck. And then you dropped all this money on a game that was very disappointing. Sometimes you go for a indie game and it's a gem. A hidden gem that's amazing. And other times you play it like, meh, it wasn't so good. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess we're going to see. But, yeah, this is a crazy time, guys. Just in particular, just this next week to 2 weeks are going to be a wild time for new releases in gaming. And the streams are going to be exciting, for sure, with all the new stuff that I'm going to be playing. So, hold on to your butts, is all I have to say about that. It's going to be a pretty wild ride, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, today is Tuesday the 28th of September. Let's talk about what we're doing today. And then I want to talk about the near future, because this weekend in particular will be pretty wild. Now, one thing that I want to say up front, everyone, for those of you who are actually here on the pre-stream, okay? This has been a rough week for me for multiple reasons, some of which I'm not going to bring up, but other reasons. For example, I got several chargebacks over the course of the weekend that set me back significantly when it comes to income for this week. I've currently disputed all of those chargebacks because they're all invalid. They're all fraud, but it's up to PayPal to clear those up, and PayPal can take upwards of weeks to even touch them. So I'm kind of already screwed in that regard. And then yesterday was a great day for the streams and a terrible day for support. All right, yesterday I played Deathloop on the first stream, and we essentially have the game set up to go so I can beat it on Wednesday, tomorrow. It's basically, I just have to do the perfect day. I have to do each one of the 4 segments of the day, taking out each target that I can during those segments, and also avoiding the invading Julianas, or killing the invading Julianas, and not screwing that up. I'm ready to go to beat the game tomorrow, okay? The stream went well. The stream went very well, and it was very entertaining in my opinion, okay? Then last night, I played Kena Bridge of Spirits. We were in a whole new area, open world, exploring, killing new types of enemies. I had new abilities that I was unlocking and using that were actually quite fun. Tons of puzzle solving, and we fought bosses. It was a good time. Now, admittedly, okay, it was an annoying stream, and here's why. We didn't really have any moderators showing up on the stream last night, and because of that, the trolls were out in full force. As I was playing Kena Bridge of Spirits, okay, all of a sudden, all these people start showing up out of nowhere. And when I notice that the viewer count is spiking out of nowhere for no good reason, I know what's going on. It means that there's a restreamer out there who turned on their fucking stream and is sending their shitbag trolls over here to fuck with everything. Okay? So here I am trying to have a nice chill stream of Kena. I'm enjoying the game tremendously. I actually think that the game has gotten way better the more I've played it. And I got trolls coming and derailing the stream. It's just ridiculous. And one of the memes, I hate to say this now, one of the memes is about Snow Carl. Constantly talking about Snow Carl. Is Snow Carl banned? Why was Snow Carl unfairly banned? Snow Carl wasn't banned. He just wasn't here last night. And these shitheads come and they literally will derail the whole stream talking about it. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? And I hate to say it, Snow Carl's just the next fucking meme. It's stupid. These people, they have this issue in their heads where they latch on and obsess about things and then they can't let go. And now it's Snow Carl because, first it was, we're going to come in with a bunch of names that are Carl. Then, we're going to come in with a bunch of names that are Snow. Now we're going to talk about the Snow Carl is banned. It's like, you guys are out of your fucking minds. Do you not see that this is obsessive, compulsive behavior and you need help? So here I am trying to enjoy a nice, chill, late-night stream last night. And it was good. The stream was good. The game was actually good. The gameplay content was good. But it was almost impossible for me to maintain order on the stream because I'm playing the game and there's so many assholes acting up, being dicks, while there was no moderator to really help me. And so I was kind of like between a rock and a hard place. Okay? So, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it's been stressful for me. The last few days, between the chargebacks, the trolling, the nonsense, and the fact that yesterday, support was really, really bad. And I mean that not in a negative way to those who supported, because I am appreciative of everyone who did support, but man, it was so slow. And I was hoping to make up for the fact that I had lost a ton of tips over the weekend because of the chargebacks, and it was like next to nothing. All right? So, what I'm hoping today, guys, is that we can get a rallying. And here's what I mean. If you like the content that I put out. See, Kagome says, this is why I left early last night. I hear you, Kagome. I don't blame you. Because here I am, one man, trying to do this whole thing by myself. I was trying to moderate the stream while playing a game, dealing with these shitheads. I don't blame you for leaving. It was really a negative situation. For sure, I agree with you on that. Okay? Alright, so, all that being said, I hope that we can get a rallying today of some kind of support. Alright? Here's why. You know, I got a day off in 2 days. And normally it would be tips that pay for my day off, including grocery shopping and all the stuff that I need to do during the day off. This week, I'm supposed to go out and get decorations for the office for Halloween for the month of October. And I am no lie, I have like no money right now, except for what I got paid from YouTube, but those all have to go towards things that I have to pay by the end of the month, like taxes, health insurance, all this stuff. I'm in a bad situation right now, but the chargebacks really screwed me over. And then having a slow day after the chargebacks doubly screwed me over. Okay? So, if you like the content I'm putting out, if you like Lost Judgment, tonight I'm playing Hades on the late stream, and you guys have really been digging Hades. I've been having a ton of fun with Hades. This newest run that I've been doing has been outstanding in Hades. The, what do you call it? Adamant Rail, which is the gun. The build that I'm doing right now is over the top. Crazy damage output. And I think that it's going to be really good. I think I'm going to be able to steamroll Hades tonight, and then I'm going to be able to maybe do even a second run, which would be great. If I could do 2 runs in one stream, that would be absolutely outstanding. So we're going to see if we can pull that off tonight, all right? So if you like all of this stuff, okay, I hope that you guys will support the streams today. Make no bones about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I need help with tips today if you guys can. I have not hit tips goals regularly in a very long time, all right? I need to be hitting them today and tomorrow. I really need the help, okay? So that I can have a day off on Thursday where I'm not worrying about now dipping into the money that needs to pay other bills, and then being able to come back this weekend and play a new game in Super Monkey Ball, and then next week all these new games coming out and not having to worry about money, you know. It would really appreciate support today if you guys could, okay? Now, I'm not asking for anything above and beyond what you can afford. I'm certainly not asking for you to go beyond your own means. I'm saying if you were thinking of supporting the streams, now would be an absolutely great time. I need the help in the short term right now. It's a tough time because of all this shit going on, you know? So please, in advance, thank you to anyone who contributes in any way. It would help tremendously if you could contribute today via tipping. Now, by the way, I'm not saying that memberships or super chats don't help either, okay? They absolutely do in the long term. And I've actually said this yesterday on the pre-stream. You guys have been supporting me overall very strongly. And particularly this month, we hit the record number of memberships we've ever had on the channel, 290. And super chats are up as well. I'm seeing a distinct increase in that amount of support. That's a great thing, because that's getting us slowly back to where I was when I was streaming full-time on Twitch. Not to say that we're close to it yet. We're not. But, you know, that was 4.5 years of work to build myself up to the level that I was at on Twitch. I know it's going to take a long time to get DSPGaming, this YouTube channel, back up to where it used to be. Okay? I know that. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a steady climb to get back up to where we were on Twitch here on YouTube. All right? But we're moving in the right direction. Like I said, this month I looked at the results for this month so far. I was like, wow, they're actually really good. It went up. So this is going to help tremendously. But the problem is then the short-term situation I'm in. Okay? Which is why I'm saying tips are definitely what's going to help me the most right now. If you could tip me today, please do. As you guys know, we have tip rewards in effect because tips are so important to the streams. If we raise $50 of tips today, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. At $100, I'll put on a hat of your choice. Choices including the camo, the digital, and the military and the fake hair hat. And you may say, whoa, wait, what? Yeah, what I'm going to do today, since it's so important, all right, since it is so important that I need to try to get as many tips as I can today, I'm going to just say, screw it. If I have to take the headphones off, I'll take the headphones off. Even though Lost Judgment's a new release, I'll do what I have to do. You know, I like wearing the headphones during Lost Judgment, but it's more important to me. I need the help right now, man. I just do, okay? And then $150 in tips today. You guys get to pick any vest you want. All the best ones are available. You know, the red, the platinum, the denim, and the gold, okay? All of them are available. So that's why I'm throwing this up like this. up front on the pre-stream. I want to get it out of the way. It's very important today. I need as much help as possible. If you guys can tip, please do. All right? And thank you in advance. I really need to make up for the fact of the chargebacks and a bad day, slow day yesterday. I hope I can today. Okay? Okay. Oh, all right. Now that's out of the way, we can focus in on positive game stuff. I hate having to fucking bring that shit up. I hate it. I just want to play games and have fun, man. The really thing that sucks is, earlier this year, I was in a situation where I didn't have to bring this shit up all the time, right? Like, when I was on Twitch, and I told you guys, this future looked bright. Things were going well. And then when I lost that Twitch partnership, we went right back to square one. It's like, I'm so tired of this. I just want to have fun with you guys every day and enjoy games. That's it. That's all I care about. I don't like having to bring this shit up. And I'm sorry I have to, but I just have to, Okay. Now, folks, let's move on. Let's talk positively about what's going on this week and everything else with the schedule, okay? So, today it's the continuation of Lost Judgment right now on the stream. And last time around, the game really opened up strongly with side content. If you guys were here for the last stream, you know what I'm talking about. The side content was off the charts. We had open world roaming in the city where all these missions were available in the streets. And then the school itself, the high school, has its own very complex series of side missions. Whether it's mini games or actual detective work, the side missions are quite interesting, and they open up all these different clubs in the school. And I was doing a variety of that side content. Now, the thing is, I know how Judgment works. And I know that we could literally sit here, I'm not kidding, we could sit here for 3-4 streams and just do the side content. That's how much side content there is in these games. I don't necessarily want to do that much. I definitely want to do some story advancement today. So, what I'm thinking is maybe we'll start off doing a little bit more side content, because I think we're in the areas where we can do more. But then once we do maybe an hour of side content, maybe then we'll disengage and we'll try to go advance the plot a bit more. Okay? I think that's what we'll do, is we'll try to do combinations of different stuff. Okay? So, that should be good. It should be a fun stream, especially if you like this chill kind of content. It's not going to be too crazy. It's actually going to be pretty fun, I feel, with the variety of stuff that we'll do today on the stream. And hopefully we'll have some interesting plot advancement, too. That would be nice. Later tonight, Hades, as I stated, is continuing on the late stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Hades should be a great time because of the crazy build I'm using. I'm hoping to steamroll the final boss and then go through it again. Maybe the first time ever I'll be able to clear it twice in one stream. That would be outstanding if I could. If I could clear it twice in one stream. Okay? Okay. All right, all right. Okay. So that's coming up. Yes, that's going to be good. And I hope that you guys will join me tonight for Hades. That should be fun. All right. Tomorrow, it's a double endgame style content day because number one, I'm hoping to beat Deathloop tomorrow. I'm set up for the conclusion. I'm actually set up for the conclusion of the game. Basically in this situation that I'm in, if things go well, I can go from segment to segment. There's 4 segments of the day, and in each segment I have it set up to know what I need to do, whether it's set a booby trap for one of the targets to kill themselves, whether I'm manually killing a target myself, or whatever I'm doing. Trying to set it up so I can go from segment to segment and take stuff out. Okay? And I'm hoping that we can beat it tomorrow. I think the one factor that we have involved in it, where I don't know if it's gonna work out or not, is actually gonna be the invasions. If the Liliana keeps invading and being annoying, if Liliana kills you and makes you start the day over, you got to start the whole process over again. Really. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can pull that off tomorrow or not. Okay. So there you go. Tomorrow night, another Kena Bridge of Spirits late night stream. And we are going to continue on in the area that we're in. We're actually heading up to the Forge now. And we're going to clear that out. And then there's one more area. And then apparently I clear out this whole, half of the game. And we head kind of into the end game. Now, I don't think we're going to beat it tomorrow by any means. But I think we'll get close and then likely over the weekend, I can probably do one more major stream of it and wrap up the game. Okay? So that should be pretty fun. I'm off, as I mentioned, I'm off from streaming on Thursday. When I return on Friday, all right, the late night stream, the daytime stream on Friday is a new game premiere release. It's going to be Super Monkey Ball Collection, all right, coming out on Friday, and I'm going to be checking it out. I've never played a Super Monkey Ball game before, ever, so I'm curious to see what they're all about, if they're challenging or not. I really don't know. Some people have told me they're actually really tough. So we're going to check it out on Friday, just firsthand see what the hell these games are all about. And then on Friday night, it's my weekly late night stream of Street Fighter, all right, at 6:45 p.m., and that's where I place 2 hours of old school Street Fighter fun, Street Fighter 2, 3, and Alpha 3. Over the course of the weekend, I'm going to be juggling all the stuff. So, for example, probably on Saturday will be my next stream of Lost Judgment, okay? And then Saturday night, probably I'll end up playing more Hades. Sunday, the main stream will likely be the conclusion of Kena Bridge of Spirits. So I can wrap up that game, since we're going to have more new release stuff coming up the next week. It'd be good to wrap that up. Sunday night will be Microsoft Flight Sim. And then on Monday, the live streaming episode of the podcast Ask the King. This is the show where I answer your questions, all right? And we'll talk about that in a second on how you can post up questions. But I do this every other month or so, and I like doing it, although admittedly, I answer your questions every day on stream, but people really like the fact that I still do this dedicated podcast where I give more complex and advanced answers to your questions. So I hope that you guys will join me for that on Monday. And then Monday night, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. And then Tuesday is the premiere of Alan Wake Remastered, paired with the premiere of the Nickelodeon fighting game. Now, here's the thing. I may or may not play the Nickelodeon fighting game. I'm on the fence about it. I'm interested in it for sure, but being that I'm going to be juggling so much else, because just within another couple days of that, we got the Battlefield beta, Far Cry 6, and then right after that, Metroid Dread. So with all that coming out, maybe I shouldn't play the Nickelodeon fighting game. I don't know. So there's so much going on, man. Seriously. There's so much going on right now. So, okay. So all that being said, crazy stuff going on in the next week and a half. And I hope you guys will join me for the streams. Should be a great time. And, good variety of stuff. 2 games wrapping up with Deathloop as well as Kena over the weekend. New games starting up next week. All kinds of fun stuff. Okay? All kinds of fun stuff happening. And, again, thank you in advance. Anyone who's going to join me and enjoy this ride, man. This ride is going to be a wild one. Okay. All right. Now, give the people what they want. I'll be happy about it later, says D-Man Gaming. See, D-Man Gaming, here's the thing. It's hard for me, I'm happy you actually said that. It's hard for me to tell what people want. Okay? So, here's the thing. Let me read this to you. I did a poll last night. Okay? I did a poll on Twitter. And I was curious with this poll. I said, what games out of all the ones coming out in the next week are you guys more interested in? All right? Because I wanted to get public opinion on this. Now, the thing is, I've noticed when I do these polls on Twitter, people are making a concerted effort to fuck them up. And what I mean by that is, if it's a 50-50 poll, like two choices, idiots will purposely try to split the vote so that's 50-50, and now the poll's worthless. Okay? They just did that the other day. I said, would you rather have Ask the King or Super Monkey Ball on Friday? And I noticed that they were skewing the vote, and it made it 50-50, so the poll was worthless. Okay? Well, the poll I did last night. Which of the upcoming October releases are you most excited to see me play? I'm interested on what you're anticipating the most. The choices were Super Monkey Ball, Alan Wake, Nick All-Star Fighters, or Far Cry 6. Okay? Super Monkey Ball got 23%, Alan Wake got 24%, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl got 24%, and Far Cry 6 got 29%. Now, when I have 4 options like this, and by the way, almost 600 votes in Less than 12 hours since I posted this poll up last night. Okay? The way I see it is, it may not be accurate, but what you can do, let's say, for example, these guys really are trying to get this poll to be all 25% and make it worthless, right? So subtract a flat 20% from each one, and what you get is Far Cry is narrowly in the lead. And I think that's legit. I actually think that out of the games, those games, like, let's think about it. Super Monkey Ball, it's a re-release. I've never played it, admittedly, but it's still a re-release. A lot of people know what that game is. Alan Wake, it's a re-release. I already played it, and I know what it is. I like the game, and I think it'll be a fun October playthrough, but still, admittedly, I think that people aren't as excited for that. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, I feel like for people who like Smash Brothers, this is a huge release. Outside of that, no one really cares. Like, Smash Brothers players, you know, don't get a variety of games to play because there's only really one game in that plays like that, Smash. You know, what did we have? Like a decade ago, we had the PlayStation All-Star Brawl, and that flopped horribly. So, getting another game with Nickelodeon like that, at least they get a variety, something else to try. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're excited for that, but I'm not a Smash Brothers fan. You know what I mean? Like, I play the games, but I'm not a huge Smash Brothers fan or player, you know? And with that being said, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be something that's going to bring a lot of attention to the stream outside of maybe one or two streams where people just on curiosity's sake want to see me play it. But outside of that, it's certainly, I'm not a competitive player or whatever. You know what I mean? And then Far Cry 6. Out of all the games coming out in the next week, I actually feel like this probably is the game that there's most intrigue about. Because there hasn't been a Far Cry game now in a couple of years, right? It's been like, what, 2.5, almost 3 years? Right? I want to say it was like early 2019 was Far Cry 5. I think it was early 2019, right? It might have actually been early 2018 now that I'm thinking about it. Holy shit, right? So, yeah, I mean, when I'm thinking about that, I'm like, huh, maybe it does make sense. This probably is a legit result because people, a lot of the times, want to see me play a game. So once they see what it is when I'm playing it, they can judge for themselves, okay? They can judge for themselves on what they want for it, okay? You know, oh, okay, I see. This is a game that's like this or like this. Phil likes it, Phil doesn't like it, and based on me playing it, they can make that judgment. You see, so the way I feel is a lot of people are gonna have eyes on my Far Cry 6 playthrough to see, is it just Far Cry 3, 4, and 5 again, or did they actually significantly change it up so now it's very different? You know what I'm saying? Is it different in the regards that, oh, here's a different gameplay element. The story is interesting. They really mixed it up and changed this up and did that. Or is it going to be the same game? Because it could be exactly the same game. Which I wouldn't be surprised. Ubisoft has a tendency to just re-release the same fucking game a million times. Just look at the last 3 Assassin's Creeds. They're almost the same game, right? So, yeah, I think a lot of people are actually curious about this. But here's the thing. If I play Far Cry 6 and it ends up being interesting and fun, that's great. But what if I play it and it ends up being more of the same? Then it's going to be a disappointment, both for me and for you guys, and how many people are going to want to follow a 15 to 20 hour playthrough of Far Cry 6 if it plays exactly the same as the previous Far Cries, right? So, it's hard. D-Man Gaming says, give the people what they want, right? How do I know what people want? I don't think we know what we want, right? Like, this month is coming up is going to be so crazy that I'm not sure we as gamers know what we want because we don't even know what to expect out of all these games coming out, right? Are they going to be good or not? I don't know, right? I guess we're going to find out, but man, it's going to be a crazy zany month, all right? Now, speaking of all of this, perhaps you're someone who likes my content and you're like, man, Phil has to buy a lot of games in the next month or two. If you want to help out with that, you could always check out my Amazon wishlist. And on my Amazon wishlist, I have different credit denominations for both PlayStation Network and for Xbox Store listed there. Yeah, if you type !wishlist into the stream chat, a link will pop up. You click on that, it'll take you to my Amazon wishlist. And then you can actually get some credits off of that. And what you will need to do is email me. I haven't mentioned this in a long time. This is usually the time of year when people are interested in doing something like this, okay? You can buy the credits off of there, whether it's PlayStation Network credit or Xbox Live credit, and you email me the code, at darksidephil@hotmail.com, and I can enter the code and use it to buy some of these upcoming games. It would help out, absolutely. You know, a game I don't have to outright spend money on, it helps a ton, okay? So you could consider that. I'm certainly not saying that's something that's necessary, but hey, some people like to go a little bit extra, above and beyond. That's a way that you can definitely do if you'd like to. And it's an alternative if you don't want to tip me, if you don't want to do a membership or a super chat. It is another way you can concretely help the streams moving forward. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. D-Man Gaming says, I was actually referring to the Nickelodeon Fighters game you mentioned. So, D-Man, what do you think? I'd like to get D-Man's opinion. Do you think people want to see me play the game or not? Do you think that people want to see me play the Nickelodeon Fighters game, or do you feel like people are going to be like, nah, Smash, Phil doesn't play Smash, and they're going to want me to skip it? What do you think? Right? Snowstar says, well, what about games allowing trade-ins? Well, here's the thing, Snowstar. And I've talked about this many, many times. Back in the day, it was very, very lucrative to do this. What you would do is buy, in 1 or 2 weeks, you'd buy like 4 or 5 games. You'd play them all. You'd trade in like 3 of them at a time. You'd end up getting like $40 back for a game you just spent $60 on within a week. Today, it's nothing like that at all. Today, you're lucky to get like $20 back for a game. It's barely anything. It's not even worth it to drive to the effing store. Seriously. It's just not worth it anymore. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Anso Kamaru says, I feel like no one's looking forward to Nick. Don't spend money on that. It might be fun for like 1 or 2 streams and that's it. That's kind of how what I'm feeling. I'm feeling Nickelodeon, right? I would play it for a couple of streams. It would be fun as I try the different characters and mess around. But as soon as the game gets serious, people are trying to play it competitively, you know I'm not going to sink a ton of effort and time into that. And it probably won't be as fun anymore, you know? Super Monkey Ball premieres on Friday, Alien Boy 13. Friday. That's when it releases. I'm excited for that because, again, I've never played a Super Monkey Ball game before. So I'm very curious to see what they are. And I bet a lot of people who are nostalgic about the series will have a good laugh watching me play it and probably fail miserably, right? Gray Fox RJ, for what I'm to understand, the Nickelodeon Fighter doesn't even have a campaign. He says, unless it has a good campaign. Apparently it has none. Apparently it's just fighting, like against the computer or online. That's it. There's nothing to the game, nothing of substance besides the competitive nature, supposedly. Yeah. Okay. So a couple other quick things I'd like to remind you all of. Number 1, with Ask the King now on Monday, you have a little bit of extra time to post up your questions for the show. You can post up questions for Ask the King by typing ! Ask the King into the stream chat right now. And that'll bring you to the link where you can go to the forums and post up. Or, if you are currently a member, all 288 of you and growing, if you go to my community tab on my channel page here on YouTube, okay? Oh, my nose itches. Yes, if you go to the community tab of my page here on YouTube, you will be able to see a members-only post, okay? And on that members-only post, you can post up questions for Ask the King as well. I'll be taking in all of those questions. All of those questions. And, you know, picking the best ones for the show on Monday. All right? So that's number 1. Number 2, the Halloween event is in full swing and will be happening shortly. Okay? It's going to be on Halloween, duh. Now, I need your opinions on this, okay? I need your feedback on what games I'm going to be playing during the Halloween event. You can submit that by typing ! Halloween into the stream chat, okay? That will bring up a link by which you can post up stuff, okay? That's cool. In addition to that, if you are a member, again, you get priority access to nominate games. And you could do that by, again, going to a community post, members only, on the channel. Okay? So, excellent ways for you to nominate stuff for all of this stuff coming up. Now, if everything goes according to plan, which I hope it does, on Thursday, my wife and I will be heading out to Halloween-themed stores to see what's available for Halloween costumes and decorations. We'll be decorating, and hopefully by Friday when I come back from my break, there'll be Halloween decorations on the streams. There'll be Halloween-themed animations on the streams. And, my nose itches, and a new color overlay. Okay, so all Halloween-themed stuff coming up shortly, which should be great. But also, I should hopefully have predetermined some categories for Halloween costumes. Usually categories are pretty general. For example, it'll be things such as, pop culture icon, comic book character, what's the other one that I'm thinking? Video game character, Hollywood movie monster, that kind of stuff, you see? But sometimes there's other stuff as well. So what I want to see is I want to see what's available out there for Halloween costumes this year. And then based on what we find in the stores, you guys are going to be able to vote on the category of costume for me to wear during the Halloween event as well. Okay. So, that is good stuff, my friends. I hope that sounds good. All kinds of stuff. Ask the King interactions. Halloween interactions. All this stuff is right around the corner. All exciting stuff, right? It's good stuff. No, I'm not going to order anything from Amazon. Likely I'll get the Halloween costume in person. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I've covered everything. I was trying to think, did we cover all the topics here? I think we've covered all of the topics now. Okay. Let us do some shout outs, shall we? For those who've already lent some support today. Yeah, let's do that. So first of all, shout out to the Dirty Troll, who was the first super chatter of the day. And it says, I'm behind you. Did you fly over Connecticut yet in Flight Simulator? We did not. I actually said, with Flight Simulator, we've been having a lot of fun the past couple of months doing it. But I feel like at some point in the next couple of weeks, all right, there's going to be a conclusion stream, at least for the short term. Because I'm going to be so busy with all the new releases now, right, that likely doing Flight Sim once a week, it's going to get played out. And people are going to say, man, why are you still doing this when you could be juggling all the new releases and getting through them? Why are you still doing Flight Sim, right? So, likely, in the next couple of weeks, I'm thinking, we will have a stream where that'll kind of be the big conclusion thing. I'll fly over Connecticut. I'll try to fly over where I used to live, with my parents' house. I'll try to fly over Bearsley Park, which has the zoo. I'll try to fly over the local malls and places that I used to go. Maybe my old high school. And then head up to the northern, or more western Connecticut is what I meant to say, where I used to live, and I used to do work at, like, Best Buy and a mortgage company and stuff. I'll just try to fly over. I'm going to tell you right now, it probably isn't going to be very interesting, okay? Unlike when we just did a flyover of Seattle about a month ago. Seattle's an interesting town because you got the Space Needle, you got the cool-looking stuff on the waterfront, like the Great Wheel and all of that, and then we flew all the way over to where I live, which was neat. It was actually neat to see that, flying over all that stuff, right? It really was. Connecticut's not going to be that interesting. There's just not a lot of stuff there, right? So, I don't really know that there's going to be that much going on when I fly over Connecticut. I'm just being honest here. Like, I think it's going to actually be... I think people are hyping it up, and then they're going to end up being disappointed. I feel that way. Like, they're going to end up being disappointed with it. So... Okay. All right. So thank you, the Dirty Troll, for the first super chat of the day. Stiff Meister did a super chat. He says, Phil, the Battlefield 2042 open beta will start on October 8th or the 6th if you pre-order the game. Or are you going to be playing it? First of all, yes. Now, which one am I playing? That is actually more dependent on what happens with Game Pass. Because from what I'm going to understand, I think if you have Game Pass or if you have... I think what they said, okay? I think what they said is if you have EA Play, if you have a subscription to EA Play, all right, then you'll have access to the beta early. Like, you could play the beta at, from what I'm going to understand, the 6th. Now, you get EA Play if you're part of Xbox Game Pass, you see? So, if you have Game Pass, technically you get to play the beta on the 6th, I guess? The open beta is the 8th. And like I said, I definitely am playing it one way or the other. I was even considering doing a comparison where perhaps I play the beta one day and then I switch over and I play it the other day. That's what I was considering. So maybe play it on the 6th on Xbox Series X, and then play it on the 8th on the PS5 and directly compare the two or something. But I don't know. I'm going off of information that people are telling me. So I'm just trying to understand what is going on with this beta, and would I really have access to it on the 6th? I don't know. Here's the thing. No, I did not pre-order the game. I would prefer to play the beta first before I pre-order the game. Especially because between now and when the game's coming out, there's a lot of other releases that I have to buy first that are more important to buy those first because they come out first, rather than dropping money on the game a month and a half early, So, I guess we'll see. Maybe I can play it. Maybe I can't. I don't know. But I'm definitely playing the beta one way or another. I just don't know what day exactly I'm playing it. I guess if the information is correct, we'll find out. Exactly. Zen Shuriken says compare both the sound and the performance between PS5 and Xbox versions. Right. That would be fun, I think, to play both versions and compare them directly and go from there. Okay, so that's the super chat. So now we head over to tips. Our first tip of the day is from Lennon McCarthy, who tipped me $4.20. Said, sorry you're having a tough week. I enjoy your streams and content. I find it chill and relaxing, so keep it up. Thank you very much, Lennon, for the first tip of the day. I appreciate that. Oops, what the? The 4 did not work. There we go. What happened there? Okay, thank you, Lennon, for the first tip of the day. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear you find my streams chill. Usually once we get into the actual relaxing, gameplay and the interactions, it ends up being really fun. I agree. There's some games that aren't that case where it's more tense, but especially a game like today, Lost Judgment, this should be a nice, relaxing stream, I feel. So, okay. Shout out to Snow Carl, who tipped $1.50 and said it's discouraging to see how some people won't support their favorite YouTube creator, live streamer, or musical artist with a few dollars a month to keep the show or content going. Well, listen, here's the thing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. There's a couple things that people should get clear when I say, I had a slow day of support or whatever. It's not that I didn't have any support. There are people who come to my streams every day and support them, and I appreciate that very, very much. I do. There's some days that are, way good, and there's other days that can be slow. That's how it is when you're a content creator like this. It's really dependent on whatever people, can give or feel like giving on a particular day. Maybe there's a stream they feel was better than another and they want to contribute. Maybe sometimes that's not the case. Maybe they just are coming by and they say, I just want to support Phil today out of the blue, and that's fine too, But the one thing that I always said is as follows. When you are someone who is doing online content creation, and if you're not someone who relies on sponsorships or partnerships like me, I don't do that. When you're someone who's relying on crowdfunding, okay, it's not about a few people who like you so much that they're going to drop ginormous contributions. That's literally not it. In fact, I would argue the vast majority of income that I make as a business is not from people who come in and give giant contributions. It's actually adding up from a large number of people, hundreds to thousands, who come by in a year and contribute a little bit here and there. The person who gives $1 every once in a while, the person who does one super chat, or just the person who is just a channel member once a month, they renew their membership, or the person who, my Patreon, which I almost never talk about these days, but I have very long-standing fans who support me still to this day on Patreon. And that's another way. If you just want nothing to do with the streams at all, but you just want to have ongoing support, you can pledge to the Patreon too, But that's what I mean. All that stuff adds up. All that stuff adds up. You see? And that is the best way to support, is just a little bit here or there if you can. I don't ever want people to feel like they're obligated to give, oh my God, I want to support Phil, but I don't have a lot today. It's not the case at all. All right? At all. So I hope you guys understand that. And I hope that people who are here to chill and have a good time will chill and have a good time. And every once in a while you want to support, do. But it's not about, oh my God, today I didn't support Phil and now it's a bad day for him. It's not what it's about, man. As long as we're having a good day with games, that's all I care about. Like I said yesterday, right? Yesterday, I had a great day on the streams. Both the Deathloop stream and the Kena Bridge of Spirits stream were very entertaining. very fun, right? I had a really good time with all of that. And I hope that you guys did too. Now, was the support great? No. But that's not what I'm here for. I still had a great time yesterday, okay? But what my hopes is that I can then make up for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that I can make up for it, you know, with days moving forward where people who can support and say, man, it sucks that Phil did have a slow day. Let's help him out. Toss a few bucks here or there. That's what it's about, okay? That's what it's about. All right, hold on one second. Oh. Ouch. Okay. All right. Ooh. So anyway, that is what I'm talking about. That's what it's all about. Having fun with games, having a good time, and supporting the streams. If you can. But only if you can. And it's not about coming in here and saying, man, dropping a monstrous piece of support or anything like that. All right? All right. Good. Good. I hope you guys understand. Today, I'm much more interested in having a chill stream with you guys and Lost Judgment, having a good time. That I'm not ultra worried about the support. I know that if we're having a good time with the stream, generally the support will come in. I don't have to worry too much about it, right? Okay. Anshank Forever tipped me $1.50. He says you should try Diablo 2 Resurrected for a chill stream. It's better than Warcraft 3 Reforged. Well, first of all, for what I'm to understand, okay, let's be very honest here. Let's be very, very honest here. We knew that the Warcraft 3 Reforged was terrible, right? Like, all reports were that it was a botched situation. They basically made it so that the game ran poorly. They didn't put effort into it. It was one of the first things Blizzard had actually released that didn't seem to have any quality control at all. And that was almost, for a lot of people, that was kind of like, that's the beginning of the end, right? That's the beginning of the end for people who are looking at stuff like that, and they're like, why is Blizzard, that used to be the company that was all about quality and was all about making sure that things that they put out, had production values and it was polished, how the hell did they pump out Warcraft 3 Reforged so poorly, right? It actually genuinely stumped a lot of people who previously had saw Blizzard as this, the infallible AAA developer. Okay? So a lot of people were actually on the fence about this Diablo 2 Reforged and wondering if it was going to be good, or excuse me, Diablo 2 Resurrected, not Reforged. If it was going to be good or if it was going to be another Warcraft 3 Reforged, right? A lot of people were on the fence about it. Supposedly, from what I'm to understand, okay, supposedly, it's actually pretty good. From everything that I'm trying to understand here, I keep saying Warcraft. Diablo 2's Resurrected is good. All right, it's polished, it's fun. People are saying they're enjoying it who got it. Now, for me, I didn't get it, and here's why. Number one, I'm in the midst of playthroughs that I need to wrap up sooner rather than later, because there's other new playthroughs right around the corner that I'm interested in October. Like I just told you guys, the first week of October is insane, right? For the amount of stuff, right? That's number one. Number two, right now I already kind of have enough late night chill stream stuff. The game is very old, let's be honest here. I've played it before, all right? I played Diablo 2 back in the day. And what I can tell you is it's incredibly addicting. It's incredibly fun. It's one of the original click-to-loot kind of games. You run around, and you click on enemies to kill them. You use abilities. You unlock better abilities. It's kind of, looter shooter, but this is before the era of looter shooter. This was, a looter RPG style game. And I remember getting so addicted to it back in the day. Like, I was playing it for hours on end. I would lose track of time playing Diablo and Diablo 2 on my PC back in the day. Because that's how addicting it was. Oh my god, I just gotta get that next piece of legendary loot. They're gonna drop it. It's gonna drop. So that being said, I don't think that this would be an interesting game for a main playthrough at all. I don't think that Diablo is a good game for the main playthrough. In fact, many years ago, when I was much more popular on YouTube, okay, I actually played a full playthrough of Diablo 3 when it was a brand new release, okay? And when I did that, people thought it was boring as dirt. They were like, man, this game sucks. This game is boring. Why are you playing this? This is not interesting to us. Now, keep in mind, when I used to make videos exclusively for a YouTube audience, it was very different than now when I have interactive streams. Back then, it was I ignore the audience and literally just focus on the game constantly, all right? And you'd be in a situation where if the game was not riveting, then it would be very hard to retain audience attention. They'd watch a few parts, say, okay, this is boring, and then never come back, and now I'm stuck in the middle of a game that's lengthy, and no one's watching. You know, the YouTube audience was very fickle in that regard a lot back in the day. As an interactive streamer, things are different. As an interactive streamer, I now can take a game that maybe isn't the most interesting to watch, right? And what I can do is I can put out an interactive stream where we're talking while I'm playing it and having a good time with social interaction. So a game like Diablo 2 where I'm grinding out repetitive gameplay to try to get loot and stuff, I could make entertaining if we're talking and having a good time with it, you see? It doesn't always have to be, oh, look, we're talking about the game. We could be having other conversations or whatever that are interesting and fun, and that way we have fun doing it rather than just, oh, the game isn't very good, you see? So that's kind of my feeling, is I could play Diablo 2 and have a good time with it, but we'd have to make it more of a chill interactive stream than a major focus. Now, here's the other thing. The game is very old, and this remaster is not anything new. It's exactly the same game as the original. So it's not like if I play it now or I play it in a month or I play it in a year, there's no different. It's not like, oh, people are rushing to play this game. I mean, there's no reason to rush it. I can take my time. When I have an opening in my schedule, okay, where I'm looking for a late night chill stream type game, maybe Diablo 2 Resurrected is exactly the game to fill that gap. But for now, heading into the busy gaming season, the fact that in the next week there's 5 games coming out, this is not the time to be playing Diablo, you know? So, there you go. So thank you, Ansheng, for the tip and the question. Chicken Man tipped me $1.50. He says, Twitch is going to be putting in tools that allow streamers to make chatters have to verify their email and phone number to prevent anti-hate raids. I think it's a good idea. Should YouTube do the same thing? Do you feel it would not work well? I honestly don't know. I don't know how that would work. And I don't know. See, here's the thing. Here's the truth of the matter when it comes to this stuff. Do there need to be extra levels of security and extra levels of protection when it comes to this stuff? Yeah, there should be. Someone shouldn't be able to, within 5 minutes, make an anonymous account that's a burner account, come in, and with a group of scumbags, raid a stream of a content creator who's a positive person, and try to ruin it. It shouldn't happen. There should be accountability on the internet for your actions. In real life, there is. You can't just do... in real life, can you go up to someone's place of business, all right, and paint hateful slurs all over the front of their building? No. Guess what would happen if you did that? You go to jail, right? It's defamation. It's destruction of private property. You can't do that. Why are people allowed to do that in a virtual space, right? Why are there so many protections on the internet? Why is something so anonymous that anyone can get away with anything on the internet and fuck around with people's businesses, right? So what's happened here is in the last 10 years, technology has advanced to the point where we're light years ahead of what's able to be made safe and enforceable for people to operate business, yet we're operating businesses in this unsafe space. We are. We're all operating businesses in this place where anyone could fuck around with anyone. And that's scary when you think about it, right? So, to me, I basically feel like there should be something in place. Now, should it be verify a phone number or email? I don't know about that. I don't necessarily know, how far you want to go. Because this is the thing. This is the slippery slope now. If every piece of everything you do on the internet has to be insane amounts of verifiable information or whatever, right? At one point then, does it become safe or unsafe? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't know. So, I don't know what to tell you. I think that there has to be some level of enforceability and some level of accountability and some level of protection. I agree there. At the very same time, I don't think um, that everyone should be required to put all their personal information all over everything on the internet either. That's unsafe, right? I don't know. I think there has to be a compromise made. Certainly what we're doing today isn't working. Having everyone being able to make an anonymous account on every single website with falsified information that's not anything to do with their real life person. And then they literally commit harassment and crimes on a daily basis, and there's no accountability for any of it. It's not working. It's just not. It's one thing when it's okay, I'm a person who's dicking around on the internet, streaming and messing around. It's not serious. So who cares if there's trolling? There's people who are operating legitimate business and can't do their work because people are coming in and harassing and doing these organized things. It's fucked up. We have to find a way to fix that, right? So I don't know. Again, see, and here's the thing, because someone just said this. Someone just said, well, if you want a cyber police force, if that happens, the consequences will be the same. So here's the thing. It's a slippery slope, because now if you have full regulation of the internet, it goes too far one way. If you have no regulation of the internet, which is essentially what you have now, it goes too far the other way. So is there a happy medium? You know what I mean? Like maybe if you're going to use an established place, like if you're going to be on Twitch or YouTube, yes, you have to have a verified account to properly use it, because that way you can stop people from doing malicious, illegal things, right? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I feel like we need something, but I'm not the person to develop the answer for you. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. Okay. Anso Kamaru tipped $1.50 and said, have you ever got hooked on a game's minigame? I sat down to make some serious story progress in Tales of Arise yesterday because I want to beat it and move on to other games. I ended up just playing the fishing minigame for 3 hours straight. I'm sure there's games like that have hooked me on things like that aren't necessarily essential to the main progress of the game. The game that I think that I did that the most, where I went off the own beaten path and started doing things that weren't necessarily part of what was planned, was Final Fantasy XII, okay? If anyone who's played Final Fantasy XII, they would know that game was unique because they took the combat systems from MMOs at the time, namely Final Fantasy XI, and put it into a single-player RPG. The game was open world. You could roam around and fight whoever you wanted, and you could actually just level up and continuously go around fighting enemies without having any semblance of connection to the plot. I ended up playing the game, I'm not kidding, like 10 plus hours of just roaming around, killing random enemies and grinding. And I ended up being in parts of the map I wasn't supposed to be in. I was killing giant turtles that you weren't supposed to fight early on, and I was fighting them and killing them. I found the combat addicting and riveting. When I went back to the story, I hated it, and I never played the game again. You see? So there you go. I guess that would be the one example for me. I don't know if it's ever been a mini game I've been hooked on. So, and then I received an anonymous $2 tip. Thank you to the anonymous $2 tipper. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. There's another couple YouTube contributions before we go on break here. Let's see. No, wait. It didn't show up. All right, well, first of all, Kevin Bernstein did a $2 super chat and said, can I get a shout out for my boy Snow Carl? Shout out for Snow Carl. Kevin apparently is a fan of yours, Snow Carl. Congrats. Thank you for the super chat there, Kevin. Kevin B. And then it was the villain who has become a member for 5 months in a row and says, yeah. And also notable that the villain actually re-upped the membership at the super supporter level, which actually helps out a little bit more. Right? A little bit more. So I appreciate that. I do. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go on a break. All right? And it's going to be a brief break. I'm just going to use the restroom quickly. It's nothing too lengthy. But I recommend you grab a drink or a snack. Use the restroom yourself, whatever you'd like to do. When we come back, it's the continuation of Lost Judgment. Likely, like I said, we'll start with a little bit more side content, but then we'll swing back into the main plot of the game at some point during the course of today's game. Okay? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I will just say this up front. Guys, today I am trying to majorly make up for, number one, a ton of chargebacks that hit me over the course of the weekend, and then number two, yesterday was a very slow day for contributions, all coming at a bad time because I got my day off on Thursday when I was going to head out and buy Halloween decorations and other various things that I need to do on my day off, and other stuff going on behind the scenes. So if you could contribute today with tipping, I would appreciate it. please do. I'm trying to hit the tips goals today and make up for the last 2 days of crappy stuff going on. It sucks, but it is what it is. So if you can, please contribute via tipping. Thank you in advance. Let's take a brief break, and I'll be right back in just a few with the continuation of Lost Judgment. Sound good? All right, I'll be back soon, guys. Thanks. See you in a few.